Yes. Hello everybody, welcome. What a great time to join us. We're on the podium here at Brands Hatch. As you can see, the Airtech Motorsport Fiesta City Championship gets underway for race 2. We're going to bring you live on the action here on the podium. As soon as the race finishes, we're going to bring you a little look behind the scenes here as well. Fantastic stuff. Back with Charles Boniface. Charles, what do you make of that start?
Yeah, brilliant start, Ian. Can't complain.
Podium here at the Brands Hatch. Charles, you've never stood on the first place spot, have you?
Trying to rub it in, Ian.
I think you need the mic, mate. Might help to need the mic. Right, now race 1 for the Fiesta Seniors was yesterday. Whilst the cars are going round and round the track, what we'll do is let's pop those race results up from yesterday onto the screen so we can see who to look out for, how things got on yesterday. Let's have a little look at that now. Now I can tell you, anyway, that it was Simon Horrobin who took the win yesterday. Alistair Kellett in second. Jensen Brickley, of course, making his debut. He was last year's junior champion. We've got waved yellows, by the way. We do have the safety car out here, just to let you know, but keep that on the screen for now. Zachary Lewis came home in 4th. John Cooper in 5th. Rob Smith, defending champion, was 6th. Then Mario Cordell in 7th. Dominic Bush 8th. David Knight in 9th. Dylan Hodgkin in 10th. Of course, we had the ST150s as well, and Nick Moore ran away with that. Joseph Knight making his debut, came 2nd as well. He was racing in the juniors last year. Let's pop that down. You can see the cars just coming through now here on the main straight here at Brands Hatch. We are, of course, stood on the podium, and we're up here for a reason, because we'll have the trophy, the podium presentation afterwards, and we want to hear from the drivers to give you live reaction from race 2 of the Airtech Motorsport Fiesta Senior Championship. So I'm just going to have a quick look at TSL and see if I can see who it was who's out of the race, and it's Alistair Kellett is out of the race. He's obviously in the gravel somewhere. Kellett out of the race. What a shame that is. He's expected to go well this season. He did in race 1.
Yeah, he did, and I'm seeing Paul Smith right there at the very back of the train as well, so maybe they are coming together.
And Luke Bannister as well. We are broadcasting to Luke Bannister's race page, so sorry Luke, we will catch up with you at some point too. But there we go, so that's how things stand. So lap 1, of course, unfortunately, safety car out, but Horrobin leads just like he did yesterday. Cooper in 2nd, Brickley in 3rd, Cordell 4th, Jamie Going in 5th, Lucas 6th, Stevenson 7th, Ben Bush 9, Miller, Blackburn, McHenry, Hodgkin, Ricky Moore, Burdis, Davis, Knight, Chambers, May, Bannister, Smith, and as we know, Alistair Kellett is out of this race. The car's going to come through very quickly. I can see Deegan Fairclough just down there in the white top. They're going to be out in the juniors very soon as well. Let's put it down onto the pit so you can see. It's the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, so the good thing about this circuit is that the cars come around very, very quickly, don't they? Even behind the safety car, Charles.
They do, yeah. It's a short circuit around here. Obviously, when they're going, sub-minute, so very short lap. But it does mean that the racing is usually quite close because you don't have long straights stretching people out.
Yeah, you never like to see a safety car, do you, of course, but it is part of racing, it is motorsport.
Yeah, you can see them all there weaving side to side across the track. It's not that they're all a little bit drunk out there. What it is they're trying to keep the heat in their tyres so that when they get going again, they've got all the grip that they should and expecting to have from the car.
Now, I don't know if you saw that. I saw that. Rob Smith, of course, last year's champion, finished 6th in race 1. Went very close to his pit wall. I think he was trying to signal something to his team, wasn't he?
He
was clearly involved in something, though, wasn't he? There because he's all the way down in 22nd, and that is last of the runners at the minute.
Yeah, he did that the first lap they came past as well, so he's definitely trying to communicate with the teams about something.
Well, I can tell you the safety car's going to come in this lap, though. We are, at the end of this lap, going to be going green again, so fortunately, only 2 laps behind the safety car, which is good. That would suggest that hopefully Alistair Kellett's car is probably just bedded in the gravel, maybe at the bottom of Paddock Hill, which is a common place, isn't it? But they've managed to get it shifted pretty quick.
Yeah, Paddock's a common place for people to come off through here, and obviously Druids as well. We saw yesterday with a few different things, Graham's as well. There's only a few corners on this circuit, and all of them are places that people will go off, but it does look like we are back racing again.
So it is Horrobin who leads, Cooper, Brickley, Jamie Going, and Cordell's dropped down the order massively as well. That's strange because you can't overtake until you get over the line. So I wonder if Cordell's. Oh no, it was just TSL. Apologies, it was TSL main trips with me, I think.
Nick Moore has made a absolutely rocket ship start away as well, and already created a bit of a gap from P2 in class. So good driving on his part, and I think the leaders at the front of the main pack as well also seem to have a bit of a gap between them and the rest of the field. So people making some pretty good restarts out there.
Now, whilst we're up here, Charles, of course the racing action's ongoing. Leon, if you just turn the camera around, just behind us is actually race control, isn't it? I don't know if you can see it. It's quite hard to see because actually there's a lot of glare, isn't there, off the glass. But in there, that's where all the movers and shakers and all the decision makers sit, isn't it? If somebody gets in trouble, that's where they're going to be. I can see Laura Payne in there too. That's where her office is. I'd love to go and have a little poke around now. I wonder if they'll let us go in and have a little look. It would be quite nice. I'm just going to go and have a word with Laura, see if I can have a look.
So as you can see, as they passed us, number 14, Simon Horbin, we spoke to him yesterday. He said he got a bit of experience around here and with these cars, been doing it for quite a few years now, and he's putting all of that experience to good use. He seems to have pulled away from the two just behind him, and looks like he could potentially start to bridge a gap. He's coming around again now, and that gap is there. Jensen seems to have broken free from the person that he was fighting with as well, so potentially there might be one car missing out of that group. I think Ian's still in, trying to see if we can get us an exclusive inside race control. So Jensen seems to have closed that gap up to first though, so there could be a scrap on for the lead and some rather close racing as they go two abreast into paddock. Everyone seems to make it through okay from where I'm standing. And further back into the field, looking at the second class, it seems to be a repeat from race one. Nick Moore in that Misty Racing prepared machine, absolutely pulling out a big gap over the rest of the field.
Charles, I've come back and on my travels.
Oh, thank you, Ian.
I don't know if I probably should have picked it up, but it was in the back, so I thought I would anyway. First place slip for the ST150 class. Of course, Nick Moore won that yesterday for the ST150s. We've got the other class too as well, the leading class, I suppose. But it's a nice trophy, isn't it? How many of these have we got, Charles?
Of those exact ones, none. But I do have a fair few trophies on my wall at home, and it is more of a wall than just a shelf anymore, to be fair.
And this is the hat you want, first place, isn't it? Now, I have just been in race control next door as well, just to catch up. I can tell you they are going to bring the top three straight down here as well, which is great, so we can bring you live, immediate post-race reaction too. Let's put the camera back on track whilst I go put this back before I drop it.
Okay. It does look like if things stay the same, Nick Moore will take that trophy back home with him for race 2 as well. So be interesting to see. We do have a car in the pits though. I can't quite make out who that is. Ian, can you make out who that is off the live timing?
I'm not so sure if that's Knight. Let me have a look.
It looked like it could be
Yeah,
Knight.
it is. It's Joseph Knight, unfortunately. Yeah, of course, graduated from the Fiesta Juniors last year. Took a podium and he's in the ST150 class, isn't he? Came second to Nick Moore yesterday, going very well. Unfortunately, that's paid to that for him. Simon Horrobin still leading the way though, isn't he? 0.315 a second ahead of Jensen Brickley on his debut. Can he make it a pair of podiums? Can he go on better and get a race win? He was on pole position in his debut yesterday after winning the Juniors title last year. And I'll tell you something, we spoke to Rob Smith, didn't we? His apologies. I was getting him and his son mixed up. We spoke to Rob Smith yesterday and he said, look, if you're quick in the Juniors, you're going to be quick in the Seniors. And so it's proven.
Yeah, it definitely shows, as we were saying yesterday, Ian, that and that talent that you've got and you're seeing in the juniors, all that experience that they're building, they are carrying that through into the seniors, and it shows how good of a proving ground it is for these young kids.
Yeah, now, apologies if you already said this, Charles. I'm sure you probably have, but defending champion Rob Smith out of the race as well. That's a real blow, isn't it? But Lucas is on the move. Chambers has got past May for 19th, so plenty of action, movers, shakers going on. We'll still make it. We've got 10 minutes of this race to go. There's still quite a way, isn't there?
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet. It looks like not Fairclough, who am I talking about? Jensen Brickley. It looks like he is chasing down the current leader of the race, Simon, in the number 14 car, and it looks like that fight could progress into hopefully a nice little clean battle all the way towards the end of the end of the race.
Absolutely. I can tell you, Dylan Hodgkin just come into the pits as well. So we've got two junior graduates now in the AirTech Motorsport Fiesta Seniors. Joseph Knight in number 89, Dylan Hodgkin just behind as well. Sadly, both into the pits, and in sprint races, if you come into the pits, that pretty much ends your race, even if you get back out on track, doesn't it? For any oh my word! Oh my word! Oh, I just saw that was
number 27.
See the number. Was it who?
Number 27.
27 was it? 27.
His rear bumper's coming off.
I thought it was Nye and Moore actually. I could be wrong. Oh no, Lucas and Cordell. Sorry, yeah. I think Lucas and Cordell. Is it Cordell's rear bumper is hanging by a thread there, and I think there was a little bit of contact down the straight here.
Well, you know, robbing is racing, as they say, and a little bit of push down the straight is something that you see quite often.
Everybody says to me, these Fiestas, they're like mini touring cars.
But as rightly you said, it is supposed to be non-contact. But unfortunately in motorsport, you end up fighting over the same bit of tarmac. Now the leaders are coming round again, as you can see. Still no change in position, but that gap is very close, so Jensen is definitely keeping Simon very honest there.
I'll tell you, Jensen Brickley, he wants this, doesn't he? One thing I like, he's only a very young man, of course. Like I said, he was racing in the juniors last season, he won the title, but he wants to win every time. He's got a winner's mentality, his Jensen Brickley, and it's really showing, isn't it? It's like Cordell, well, that damage has fallen down the order a little bit, hasn't he? Bush has now got past, so it is Horrobin. You're outright for your, what have we got? We've got 18 runners and riders right now. The outright, forget classes, this is just track order. Horrobin, Brickley, Cooper, Going, Stevenson, Lucas, Bush, Cordell, Miller, McHenry, Ricky, Nye, Moore, Davis, Bannister, Burtis, Blackburn, Chambers, Hodgkin.
Moore is putting in another absolutely brilliant drive in the 150 class, absolutely checked out at the front. Just a repeat of yesterday, to be fair to him. He's driving very well, that car is clearly working very well, and he's putting it to good use around this circuit.
He certainly is, yeah. Cordell's rear bumper is still on, of course, but it is flapping around a little bit. Number 27. Unfortunately, as we said, we've still got Joseph Knight and Dylan Hodgkin in the pits. It looks like Hodgkin's going through a couple of tyre changes. They have just had Knight's bonnet up, which is never a good sign, is it? They're pushing it back, and I think that is Knight's weekend done. This is race 2, of course, of the AirTech Motorsport Fiesta Senior Championship. They go home after this, but there's still junior action as well, so don't go anywhere.
So we're getting towards an interesting phase of the race here, where I think we're going to start to see the leaders lap cars.
Yeah,
there they are, the leaders.
This is good, with Brickley getting close again to Horrobin for the outright race win. This is quite exciting here on the podium. We've got exclusive access onto the Brands Hatch podium here. You think of all the famous people who've stood on this step right here where I am.
Quite a few.
And I've got the honour of sharing it, you know. The likes of Charles Boniface.
Not quite yet round
Brickley,
here, sadly.
Deegan Fairclough, Nigel Mansell.
Now I've stood up here.
You can stand down there and you're still taller than me.
It feels like home, to be fair. I must admit, it feels like home up here.
A little bit of good news. I just see Dylan Hodgkin's just gone back out onto the track. I mean, he's well down the order now. He's a few laps behind everybody, but he's back out. That's important, just to get a feel for the car. You may as well try and take the checkered flag. There's still 6 minutes of the race to go. Brands Hatch Indy, that's 6 laps still, isn't it?
Yeah, still quite a lot can happen. As you can see with the blue flags that are being waved, we are getting to lapping traffic now. This is an extremely important part of the race, because lap traffic can make a massive difference between who wins and who doesn't win this race. getting through the traffic cleanly and finding your gap so they don't hold you up can be very important. If Jensen uses the traffic correctly, he could get past Simon, and if Simon uses the traffic correctly, he can gap Jensen so that you can't come back at him.
There's nothing to choose between them, really. Simon Horrobin's fastest lap in this race is a 54.257. Jensen Brickley's fastest lap is a 54.263. There's literally nothing to choose between them, is there?
All of about, what, 6,000ths of a second there,
it's unbelievable, really. And I can see Tegan Fairclough still in the pit wall with Jam Sport again this season, and he's looking after the board, it looks like, for Hayden down there. Right, somebody else into the pits now. I think it's Dylan Hodgkin. He's back into the pits, so he's obviously gone out to do a sighting lap just to make sure everything's okay. Clearly there's a problem with that car, and I think it might be turned off. So Dylan Hodgkin back into the pits for the second time in this race.
As I was just mentioning about traffic here, and that gap did get a little bit bigger that time round, so I think maybe Simon might have cleared through them just that little bit better than Jensen did, because the gap has gone from 2/10 up to about 8.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah, it's just gone up a little bit, and yeah, still work for Dylan Hodgkin's car down there. It looks like they're having issues with that right front, doesn't it? Well, let's see, we grab a word with him a little bit later, find out. We've got Ricky coming through there, car number 15. Battles going on. So sadly from this race so far, anyway, Dylan Hodgkin's still in the race. Technically, he's down there, but looks like we're going to lose Hodgkin. We've lost May, we've lost Knight, we've lost Smith, and we've lost Kellett from this race.
This is not the opening weekend that the defending champion Smith would have wanted to start off his 2022 campaign with.
No, it certainly isn't, is it? And there's a plethora of Fiestas come by, isn't it? It's a Fiesta Feast here today at Brands Hatch. It really is. Don't forget, we've got more to bring you as well. We've got the modified Fords, a bit of action from them. We're going to hear from Rod Burley in a bit as well. And of course, they had a race yesterday too. They've got a couple of races, a couple of different groups. It looks like somebody down there is going to be getting a black and white flag, Charles. I wonder who it is.
Well, luckily about the black and white flags, they're not overly serious. They're more of a warning to a driver to stop doing something. I would be lying if I said I've never had one. But you've got to push the limits. You've got to push the limits. And if you don't, you're not really racing. So whether that's the limits of the track or anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. There's quite a gap now, though, isn't there, between Horrobin and Brickley. It's gone up to 1.3 with
side by side
left to go. Oh, look at that, it's Jamie going there, going toe to toe with Lucas. You see what I did there?
I did.
I'm here all week.
And it looks like he might be going one step backwards if Lucas made that move stick.
If he did, yeah, if he did. We won't find out until the end of this lap, unfortunately, but that won't take long, I can tell you that, with the cars going round in sort of 54.5 seconds.
I hope other people are finding us punny, Ian.
Probably not. Probably switched off by now. I've got plenty of jokes if you want to hear them.
Let's hear them coming. Let's hear them.
I went to the corner shop, bought 4 corners. Went to the paper shop, a bit blown away. Went to buy some camouflage trousers, couldn't find them.
Speaking of being blown away, Nick Moore seemed to have done that with the rest of the 150 competition this weekend. And the 2 leaders out front in the main series, in the 250 category, Jensen and Simon, seem to have been doing the same with the rest of their competition. They're now coming up to lap the 150 leader. It looks like everybody out there, at the front at least, is having a real strong race, carrying off from where they left off yesterday.
Yeah, it's worth noting as well, by the way, Jamie Going held on to that position, and in fact Lucas must have got a little bit wider, because Stevenson got past as well to move up to 5th, so Lucas actually drops down to 6th.
Well, he was going from the outside of paddock, so maybe just being offline and trying and hang around the outside wasn't the right move.
Sorry to cut you off, Charles. Look how close this is now. The gap was at nearly 1.5 seconds. Suddenly, Brickley is within a bit of A4 paper distance. There's barely anything to choose between the two. We're going to have 2 laps left now. We've got just over a minute left on the clock. So they're on the penultimate lap now. Can Brickley do anything about this? This is exciting indeed, isn't it?
It definitely is, Ian. Definitely is. And as I was saying with traffic before, it looks like this time it swung Jensen's way. Helped close the gap back up. Jensen's putting in some good laps as well.
I'll tell you, he put the fastest lap of the race in, 54.207 now. Brickley holds the fastest lap of this race.
all those extra points will definitely help when it comes to the championship.
I think he'll be delighted with this weekend, will Jensen Brickley. I really do. I think Joseph Knight will as well, despite retiring from this race. He put it on pole with the ST150 class yesterday, didn't he? On his debut, finished second in that race. If it's a mechanical issue, there's not a lot you can do. Dylan Hodgkin looks like he's just going to go out for one final swing around. Why not, if he can?
I don't know whether you saw that, Ian. He's got Pac-Man on his roof.
He's got Pac-Man on his roof. And look at that. There's a massive fight going on between Lucas Going, Bush and Stevenson. Stevenson on the previous lap was 5th, he's now 7th. Lucas is now 4th, Going's now 5th. Bush is up to 6th. My word, this is so exciting, it's so entertaining, it really, really is. Yeah, I've got it on good authority as well. They're going to bring the drivers down to us so we won't have to move, which is even better, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. It means we got most of our steps in yesterday and won't have to get so many in today.
That we did. Right, the checkered flag. We put the camera on the checkered flag, man. It's going to fall very, very shortly. Is it going to be Brickley? Is it going to be Horrobin? Who is it going to be? It's going to be Horrobin. There's nothing Brickley can do from there. And it's Simon Horrobin who takes a pair of wins. Jensen Brickley comes home in second. One place better than yesterday, though. Finished third. But it's a pair of podiums on his debut. The Fiesta Junior champion makes it a pair of podiums on his debut and pole position. It's been a pretty good weekend for him, I'm sure we agree. 5th punt from Jamie Going, gets back up to 5th place. So it's Horrobin, Brickley, Cooper, Lucas, Going, Stevenson, Bush. We'll just wait for the rest of the cars to come over and take the checkered flag. What a thriller that was.
Going and Silverstone coming across the line side by side, barely anything in it, and I can tell you there's 35 thousandths of a second in it, Ian.
Oh,
that's all there was. Barely anything between them.
Absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, Horrobin. Let's pop, the cars are coming over the line. I don't think there's any battles more. We've just got Chambers to wait. Let's pop TSL up onto the screen so you can see for yourself the classified result. Well, they're not classified yet, are they, of course, but the results as they've come over the line. So Horrobin, Brickley, Cooper, Lucas, Going, Stevenson, Bush, Cordell, Miller, McHenry, Ricky, Bannister, 9, Moore, Blackburn, Burdis, Davis. There goes Chambers, just there. Hodgkin did manage to take the checkered flag as well, I'm delighted to say. And I'm delighted to say Jack Oliphant has joined us as well. Jack, come on, Jack. Don't hide. On circuit comms today, aren't we, Jack? How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. I've actually come here to interview the podium sitters, which I imagine is what you've come to do as well, or just have a nice backdrop.
You can hold that as well and do it all.
So I've got 2 microphones. What are you doing for your job?
I'll hold this and put it under your face so you don't have to worry about it. My job? I don't know. I might go boil a kettle or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It's probably all I'm good for, Jack. It's been a great weekend action so far. What do you make of that race?
Yeah, awesome. That was brilliant. Brickley and Horrobin. Obviously, Horrobin did a fantastic job of carving through the traffic. Brickley got a bit caught up, let's face it, but that fight for 4th place was absolutely sensational. And I think props to Cooper as well. I mean, we were joking in the commentary box saying a bit of a bland white car and a bit of a bland race in 3rd place. He didn't really draw attention to himself, but sometimes you just sneak onto the podium, you still be happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just make sure that TSL's down from the screen now so we can actually see Jack's lovely face, of course. There it is, a famous name in the world of handball as well, aren't you, Jack?
Well, I like to think so, but I suppose you are as well now, Ian, as a commentator.
I wouldn't say famous, but yeah, look, right, I've had it on good assurance that they're going to come straight down to us. Whilst we're waiting, Leon, if you just come with us, because I showed you a trophy before, and here's the rest of them. Look, I wonder what's in here. What's in there, Scott? Can I have a look? I'll have a look. Very quick, it won't be long. Look at that. Oh yeah, that is Driver of the Meeting Award. I don't know if you can see that, how well you can see that. Look. We'll find out who, of course, it's going to be later on today. I'll pop that back. So there's the rest of the trophies for the juniors and the seniors. The AirTech Motorsport Fiesta Senior Championship, their racing action has now actually finished this weekend, but we are going to hear it from the drivers live. So let's go back. Now, whilst we're waiting for the cars to come down,
And it was a cracking race, wasn't it, Charles? Sorry, I took that away from you, didn't I?
That's okay.
We can show you a little bit more about actually the Fiesta Senior Championship. It's their promo video from 2021. If you like what you see there, you want to find out more, there is a link in the body of this broadcast to the BRSCC Fiesta shoot. Well, it's actually just the BRSCC website, so you can get all the information about all of the championships. We've got a little video to play for you now, a little bit more action from the Fiesta Senior Championship. Roll VT. Right, welcome back to the podium. As you can see, Laura doing a great job putting the trophies out. I wonder if there's a trophy for best broadcast this weekend. I said, Laura, is there a trophy for best broadcast this weekend? Yeah. Probably not. I probably wouldn't win it. So. Right, we are just waiting for the cars to come down. Yeah, what a weekend it's been for Jensen Brickley. Of course, as we've mentioned once or twice, but we will mention it again because it's well worth a mention. Last year's Fiesta Junior champion. He put it on pole position yesterday, finished third in race 1. He's finished second here in race 2, and he pushed Simon Horrobin all the way, didn't he, Charles?
He definitely did, yeah. I mean, Simon's had an amazing weekend as well, 2 wins. You know, so he's had almost a perfect weekend other than pole, really. But yeah, I think Jensen also picking up the fastest lap in that last race as well. So
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, both of them, I think, will walk away from this weekend very happy, very satisfied, and in a rather good place for the championship.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to stay live, of course, because there's a catering race coming up next, which we're not going to cover. But then we do have the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship Race 1, which I'm very much looking forward to. And it is no surprise who's on pole position, but there's quite a few surprises through the field. It'll be a good race.
Yeah, there are. And pole was very close yesterday. I think there's a few just within a tenth or so. So, you know, it could be quite an interesting fight there at the start.
I think it certainly will. Now let's just have a look at the carver that the drivers get. Let's have a look at the percentage, 11.5%, so it's proper stuff. Yeah. You know, it's quite nice.
Not the juniors.
The juniors, I think they get a fruit shoot or something. Let's find out actually from Laura. Laura, just quickly, obviously champagne for the seniors.
Yes.
Although Jensen's probably not old enough, is he? Yeah.
He was 18 yesterday. It was his
Was
birthday.
he?
Yeah.
The juniors, did they get a fruit shoot or?
No. We used to have non-alcoholic sometimes, actually. Yeah.
Okay. What did you make of that race, by the way? It was a cracker, wasn't it?
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? Some nice little battles going on.
I don't often do this. Don't like to put people on the spot.
Yeah.
But the Fiesta Junior race.
Yeah.
Who's going to win it?
Don't ask me that. I don't know. And I would never, you know, I sit on the fence. I'm going to stay firmly on the fence all season. You know?
Okay. Charles, who's going to win?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick with my man Webster from qualifying. I feel like you're going to go with Faircloth, and I'm going to stick with the other man on the front row of the grid, and stick with Ollie's Tuition.
Yeah.
And Albert is one to watch this year.
Yeah. He's got Ollie Turner in his corner as well. He knows how to win a championship. So I'm going to stick with Webster from Polly.
Now we have a little feature coming up. I haven't told you we're going to do this today. We have a little feature with the juniors, and it is who can get into the race overalls the quickest. They're going to go up against you.
Awesome.
They're not going to be
I
naked.
haven't got mine. I can't join in.
You could join in too. Yeah, haven't you got your oval?
I
Can't you borrow?
haven't got it.
They've got some extra small somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, all of their ones will be too big for me, won't they? They're all huge.
You could borrow mine. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, but even the juniors, their overalls are too big for me as well. They're so tall.
Well, at least you'd get it in them very quickly because it's not a tight fit or anything. You'd be straight in, easy.
Just my advice is when you talk to women about clothes, just be careful. All right,
I'm treading very carefully, Ian, trust me.
we can't be far away now, can we?
We're going to have to run from here up to the assembly area for the juniors.
You can run.
We'll take a nice light stroll.
You're not going to run?
We are just waiting.
We
for
can
the
get
drivers
you
to
running
come
on
in,
live
take
if that
long.
makes any sense.
Right, they're on their way down now, I'm pleased to say. The drivers are on their way down. I can see Nick Moore's on his way, Charles.
He is, yeah.
He'll be a happy man as well. It's been a good weekend for him.
It's been a very good weekend for him. Obviously, didn't quite get pole, but he has won both the races. Very similar to how Simon has, really. Didn't get pole, but has won both races. So, and two very dominant wins for Nick as well. I know he was very pleased after yesterday's performance. And he's just looking forward to a good season.
Yeah, definitely. I think Rob Smith might be a little bit disappointed. Defending champion, of course, finished sixth yesterday. I didn't actually know where he finished, but he's well down the order, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was down in about sixth yesterday because he was in with that lead pack for a while. And then Jensen got sort of dragged into it after the start and then went forward and Rob just sort of came back a little bit. I'll let you grab some interview.
Thank you. I will. Let's go behind the scenes properly here, like we always say we do. We're in the driver's room. Jensen, well, we didn't get a chance to catch him. Of course we're allowed. We don't know if we're allowed to be there, but we're here anyway. Look, yesterday it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good
Today
day,
one better. You got so close though to Simon, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it feels like he pulls a bit on the straights and then I catch on the corners. We had a few back markers getting in the way, but yeah, it was a good race all round, close racing, clean and respectful really. It was unfortunate at the start, but hope all the drivers are okay. But yeah, luckily I avoided it. I thought I was going to hit Rob Smith on the nose up the hill, but just about avoided it. Yeah, it was a good race though, yeah.
This weekend, were you expecting it to be this good?
Well, we went testing at Alton and we knew we were close to the times that were set there last year, and it was a fact of just getting used to the car, seeing how it felt, and we knew we was going to be mid-pack maybe, but we didn't think we was going to be this high up. But yeah, it's been really good, yeah.
I spoke to Rob Smith actually yesterday about you, and after qualifying, and he goes, if you're quick in a junior car, you're quick in one of these seniors, and I'm mightily impressed. I mean, look, I'm not really Jensen because I've known you for over a year now, and I know you've got this winning mentality, and of course next time out though, top step, right?
Hopefully.
Definitely. Charles, we've got Nick Moore. Do you want to go have a quick word with him?
Yeah, I'll go introduce Nick.
What a mate.
Could I grab you? Yeah. Is that another dominant win, was it?
Yeah, it didn't. You know, it's a weird one because safety car always messes things up, doesn't it? But I saw I had a guy behind me who was a novice, his first race weekend, and I thought if I back them up, then I'll be able to go and I'll have a run up and I can catch on to the back of him, and he was weaving, so I chose that time to go. And it worked pretty nicely, but it was chaos at the start. I don't know what happened. I just hope Alistair's all right because his car looks a bit messed up. But it was good. Yeah, good start. Good start to the weekend.
Well, yeah, that's what we were saying. Brilliant, perfect almost start for the championship for you. As you're back doing a full year this year, so car looks good. You look good.
Thank you, mate. Yeah.
Seems to be going pretty good.
Yeah, mate, it was pretty good. Please, I've got to hand it to the sponsors and all these guys here, and especially these guys for giving me an awesome car, because that's 50% of the equation, and then I've just got to turn a wheel at the end of the day. And they've done an awesome job. I can't be happier. I just hope when we go to Croft, where I've never even been to the track before, we can do it again. But yeah, we'll take this one. I'll have a beer now because we're done for the day. And yeah, I don't actually know what the time is. No, maybe I'll hold off until 12. But yeah, mega, really, really good.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, mate. You've earned it, so go enjoy it. No worries.
Charles, just quickly, just quickly as well. Just to understand, it was your birthday yesterday. So
Yeah.
Well, you can have the champagne now.
Well, yeah, legally anyway.
Well done, congratulations anyway. I think it's time for, let's get on to the podium because I think Jack Oliphant's going to do the presentations. Charles, it might just be worth, if that's okay, just whilst Jack does the...
If we've got a red flag, we have a chat to Ripley. Jensen, right? Yeah. We can have a chat just because there's a red flag, so we have a little bit of dead time. We actually have time to do
So we will hear from Jensen again, from Jack Oliphant, the official circuit commentator here at Brands Hatch today. Fantastic stuff. Birthday yesterday as well, so happy birthday to Jensen, and what a birthday it's been.
We have 5 out of the 6, so what I'm going to do whilst we have that red flag is have a chat to Jensen Brickley. Now, Jensen, obviously a former junior champion, making the big step up into the air tech. What's the step up been like, first of all?
Well, when you first get in the car, it feels a lot faster than the junior car, but you get used to it quite quickly. There's not that much difference. It's just the speed mainly. The brakes are much better, and it's a little bit looser going into the corners. But yeah, other than that, it's very similar, really.
And what's the racing like? Because obviously racing against juniors who may be slightly less experienced compared to racing with the big boys, shall we say, and you'd hope that they were a lot more experienced. Is the racing much different?
Well, yeah, last year we got taken out a few times, and yeah, it just shows that it was junior racing, really. But yeah, in the seniors, yesterday and today, I had 2 mega races and clean, respectful racing, so it's all you can ask for, really.
You look like, last question, don't worry, we'll get you on the podium in a second, but you look like you had a good opportunity to maybe go for the race lead a couple of times. You just couldn't quite get there. Is there anything you think you need to work on before the next round?
Well, it seems we're down on power a little bit to Simon Horobin, but I don't know, we'll see what we can do.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Jensen. We'll have you up on the podium in a couple of minutes' time, but first we're going to do the ST150. No, we're not, apparently. Sorry?
First, please.
Yeah, apparently we're going to do the 240 first, as I think we're still missing one. So I'll tell you what, let's get going with the 2 ST240s. And first up, in 3rd position, was John Cooper. There we go, John stepping onto the podium after a fairly quiet race, but sometimes they're the best when you sit on the podium. 2nd place then was the man we were just talking to, Jensen Brickley. And in 1st place for the 2nd time this weekend, Simon Horobin. Photos all round, no champagne sprayed. Very grateful for us here standing on the podium. Normally they do spray the champagne on the last race, they don't need the race suits anymore. And I'll just double check what we're going to do here, Paul, whether we're just going to go for the top 2 or 3rd and 1st, or whoever we've got. I know Nick Moore's in here, so let's go check the top row there.
Right. Yeah. Simon, could I grab a word with you? So, we'll wait for the camera to come on in. I spoke to you yesterday in the paddock before qualifying, and you were telling me about how your years of experience may pay dividends, but you're just going to go out there and see. We're at the end of the weekend now, and you've had 2 wins. Do you feel like that experience has paid off this weekend?
It helps, yeah. We had a major problem with brakes, yeah. We had no brake pads in yesterday. A little bit of damage yesterday. We had to put another tyre on. I was struggling on the green flag lap with the braking and that, so I had to try and get some heat in them. And if I would have gone too quick, I would have ended up on the grid sitting there with even colder brakes. So I was trying to get as much heat in them. And obviously, you know, that's the best I could do, because obviously, best of a bad situation. They were still bad, but they were better than the first one. So, but you know, Brickley, he kept me. You know, he was there, and I had nothing to do but just try and cover it all and do the best we could. That was it, really.
Yeah, it seems like a brilliant drive from both of you. He definitely kept you honest, and you used the traffic to your advantage at some points, and he used the traffic to his at others. And he just managed to pull it off.
Yeah, I'd say, it's the young stars, it's again 17-year-olds against slightly older gentlemen. So at the end of the day, it'd be hard to keep him all year, but we just got to try,
Well, you've got the best championship standing after the weekend, so just got to keep it up for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, we just got to keep modest and keep at the front all year. Hopefully, that's all we do. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Simon. Thanks.
There we go. Wonderful stuff. They're coming back on now. I wonder if you want to grab another driver, Charles, if you get a chance.
I think they're all heading
they're all
off
going.
here.
All right.
We could grab Laura.
I'm running to junior.
So we're going to capture you running on live stream.
If you could, Laura, run up the pit lane, and we'll film it.
Yeah.
In fact, let's time it. Let's get a stopwatch on. Right. How long does it take Laura Payne to run up the pit lane? It's a special feature. We've got the camera. Let's get ourselves back onto the podium, shall we? Yeah, it was an exciting race, wasn't it?
It was.
Sorry, Charles. It's an automatic reaction. When I do this, I normally do it by myself, so I'm automatically just assuming to take stuff.
We're also used to both having mics on our chest, but
we certainly are now.
We're mixing it up today.
We've also got the modified Fords as well a little bit later. We caught up with a lot of them yesterday too, didn't we? I was saying come on up. I thought someone was waving to get me out of the way. It normally happens.
It's not every day you get the option to stand on a podium, so
I'll take it as often as I can.
Take the steps that you can.
As we said, we've been covering a bit of everything here, a little bit look behind the scenes for you. Yes, we brought you the race. We've got the juniors coming up after the caterings as well, so don't go anywhere, stay with us. Yesterday though, for the Ford Modified, so we caught up with Rod Burley in the assembly area just before they went out for qualifying. We had a good chat with Rod. Here's what he had to say before they went out for qualifying. Roll VT. Hey, I'm Rob. You're looking pretty dapper today, I must say.
How you doing?
I'm very well. How many race wins are we chasing this weekend? 5,000? 6,000?
I've got to stop saying that now, no. We've topped 700 now. We're on 702.
702?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, there you go. No, that's all right. That's all right. Do you want me to answer it?
Hello?
We'll let him go whilst he answers the phone. We'll hold on it and stick around with Rod. Sorry, Rod, you were
It's the engine builder.
It's the beauty of being live, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, expectations this weekend. We're going to add to it, right?
I hope so. We've had a lot of problems at the start of the year with the car. We had problems up at Silverstone, had a misfire which we thought we'd diagnosed when we came here testing.
Yeah.
It was fine, put it in a trailer, go to Silverstone, misfire comes back. But started the first race up there from the back of the grid, which made it exciting. Got up to second, dicing with Alex Sidwell with a Holden, and then it all went wrong again. So we came home. But Joe and Spotter have changed a few more bits on the car, so fingers crossed. The car's getting old, a bit like the driver, so it has good days, it has bad days, so I'm hoping today's a good day.
No, I don't believe that.
Just hoping it's a good day.
I'm not having that. But I mean, Brands Hatch for you, Rod, it's a walk in the park, is it? You drive the circuit with your eyes closed, can you?
Yeah, almost. It's just that there are some, the Ford series has really blossomed. Paul Neville's done a terrific job. There's some really quick cars out there. We're still running a restrictor, so I know this always sounds funny, but we've only got 500 horsepower, but there's quite a few others out there with 600 plus. But Brands isn't really power circuit, it's more to do with handling and local knowledge, but just depends how the qualifying goes as to which group we're in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're up against Dave Cockle, because that's what we're sort of measuring ourselves around here.
Yeah.
He has gone around here quicker than what I've gone, so we'll have to see how it transpires, but it's great being here back at Brands, home track and everything, and hopefully we'll have a good day.
Top man, Rod, thanks for talking to us. We do appreciate it.
There we go, that was Rod Burley yesterday before they went out for qualifying. Now, they did have a race yesterday. They've got a few today, different groups are split up. Here's how yesterday's race finished up. Here's the race classifications for the Ford Modified Series. Rod Burley came home in 3rd place, as you can see. He'll be hoping to do a little bit better today. He definitely wants the top step off that podium, doesn't he? That's how things finished up yesterday. Of course, we're going to bring you a reaction as much as we can of the Ford Modified Series again today for you. Right, let's pop that down. We've got a little bit of time before the Fiesta Juniors. There's actually been a red flag for the Caterhams. We're not covering Caterhams at all today. If you did want to watch a bit of Caterham action, you can head over to the BRSCC YouTube channel. And, well, there's no point in watching it now because put the camera on him quickly, Leon, if that's okay. They're not doing anything. So you may as well stick with us because I'm going to test Charles's Formula One knowledge and your knowledge at home as well whilst we wait. Now, did you know, interesting fact here, that there have been 22 different nationalities to have won a Formula One race.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to give you a country. We'll start off nice and easy. Play at home as well. Comment below. We can see the comments, by the way. This is your show. And if you do want to watch more live motorsport action behind the scenes in 2022, don't forget, click our YouTube link. It's in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through to live sport now. Make sure you hit subscribe. We bring you content that nobody else can. Cars going around a racetrack are really, really cool. But actually getting up close and personal with the drivers and having fun with them is even better, I can tell you that. Now, Charles Boniface, a racer himself, races Mazda MX-5. Bet you race low cost, you race everything, don't you, Charles? Tell us, favourite car you've ever driven?
Oh, that's a tricky one, actually, Ian. Probably the one that's left the biggest impression on me, because I've only driven it once and in the wet, but I still mind blown. Formula Jedi, an F1000.
Yeah. Covered F1000. Yeah.
0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Wing slicks, but Jesus, those things are just out of the gate crazy. Great, so much grip. But yeah, I've driven, like you say, anything that I can get my hands on, I will jump in and drive. So yeah.
What have you been most impressed with this weekend, though, Charles? BRSCC. If you could drive anything under the BRSCC banner, what would it be?
Oh, that's quite tricky, actually. I've not driven something like a hot hatch on slicks, so to drive one of those Fiestas actually would be quite interesting, I think. But with either that or I think probably one of the old sort of Ford Escorts, something along that
in
sort
the
of
Ford
like, yes,
exactly
in the Ford Modified, something along that. I would not say no.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's get on to our quiz then. How well do you at home and Charles Boniface know your Formula One nationalities? So, 22 different nations. I'm going to give you the country, and you've just got to give me one name of a Grand Prix winner from that country. This is according to Wikipedia, by the way, so if we get something wrong, comment below, tell us. We're not too precious about it, don't worry. So, nice easy one. We're going to start with, and by the way, just give the viewers a chance to comment first, so give it 10 seconds before you comment.
All right.
The United Kingdom, really easy. We just need one race winner from the United Kingdom. Leon, cameraman, give us one. Shout it out. Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell. Probably stood right here where we are as well.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Well, he would have done in the late '80s when he was driving for Williams.
You give us another one. Leon gave us Nigel Mansell. One more.
Do you want me to rattle off a few?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
So, Phil Hill, Graham Hill, Damon Hill.
Wasn't Phil Hill American?
I think he was British, wasn't he?
I think Phil Hill was American.
But he was part of that. Phil Hill, Moss, and Mike Hawthorne.
Phil Hill was American.
He was American.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I got that one wrong. But that shows you something. That shows you something. But yeah, so Moss, Hawthorne, Clark, Stewart, Graham Hill. Who else would have been from as we go through? Obviously Nigel Mansell, as you said. Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Damon Hill.
Shall I tell you? You probably want to know. Lewis Hamilton, Nigel Mansell, Jackie Stewart. This is all off the top of my head completely.
Yeah.
Jim Clark, Damon Hill, Sterling Moss, Jenson Button, Graham Hill, David Coulthard, James Hunt, Tony Brooks, John Surtees, John Watson, Eddie Irvine, Mike Hawthorne, Peter Collins, Johnny Herbert, Innes Island, and Peter Gethin. There you go. Right,
nice.
another national.
No, I'll come down here.
I'll
come down here.
Right, another easy one. Another country here. Just need one Grand Prix winner from this country. Germany.
Michael Schumacher.
Yeah. You could have had, of course, Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg, Ralf Schumacher, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Wolfgang van Trips, and Joachim Mass. Another very easy one, it's going to get harder, I promise, is Brazil.
Ayrton Senna.
Ayrton Senna. You could have had Nelson Piquet,
Fittipaldi.
Emerson Fittipaldi, Rubens Barrichello, Felipe Massa and Carlos Pace. I'll just let these coaches go through whilst we carry on the game. Fingers crossed we don't have a red flag. Now, just to remind everybody, we are going to stay live for the Fiesta Juniors. It's coming up after this race, so don't go anywhere. Okay, stay right here. Do this quiz with us. It's the F1 nationality quiz. Maybe we can get some text across the bottom. Might be quite useful to say that. The F1 nationality quiz. Right, another easy country. It gets harder, but not yet. France.
Alan Prost.
Yep, you could have had René Arnoux, Jacques Latifi, Didier Pironi, Maurice Tringent, Patrick Depailler. You could have had Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Olivier Panis, Monaco, 96.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Beltoise, Francois Sever, Patrick Tambay, Jean-Pierre Jamboulet, Patrick Depailler. Okay, another easy one. 5th most nationality won races. Does that make sense? Just let the coaches go through whilst we do this. So that was France. We're now to 5. Finland.
Right.
Finland. Comment below. Have a think. Finland. Let's test Leon.
I can think
Finland.
of three.
One driver from Finland to have won a Formula 1 race. Yep.
The Iceman, yeah.
The Iceman. Go on in. Give us your 3.
I'd have said Kimi, Mika Hakkinen,
Yep.
and obviously Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, you could have had Keke Rosberg.
Yeah.
And you could have had Heikki Kovalainen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. This is another easy one. Italy.
Ascari.
Yeah, top of the name. You could have had Patrese, you could have had Farina, you could have had Alboreto, Fisichella,
Yeah.
De Angleses. You could have had Piero Taruffi, Luigi Fagioli, Luigi Musso, Bugatti, Bandini, Scarfiotti, Brambilla, Nannini, and Jarno Trulli.
I don't. Not that I want to argue with Wikipedia, but to my knowledge, I thought Bugatti died between the 2 wars, so he wouldn't have raced in Formula 1, which wasn't started until 1950, even though the first race weekend was held in 1949 at Silverstone. Bugatti, I don't think he would have raced in Formula 1.
It's Baghetti, it's not quite
Baghetti. Oh, okay.
He
I thought you
died
said
in
Bugatti.
November 1995. So there you go. It's probably just the way I said it. Another easy one, still modern day Australia.
Right, I've got a few.
Got him?
Jack Brabham,
Yeah.
Mark Webber,
Yeah.
Danny Ricciardo,
Yeah.
and Alan Jones.
That's all 4 of them. Yeah. Ricardo, by the way, has won 8 races.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Starts to get a little bit harder, but there's an obvious one here. Austria.
Oh, Austria. Niki Lauda.
Yeah.
And Jochen Rindt,
Yeah.
the 1970 world champion.
Sorry, I've got a phone call coming in there. Apologies, whoever was trying to call me there. I've had to cut you off because I can't hear. Right, Niki Lauda, Gerhard Berger, Jochen Rindt. There you go. Argentina. There's another obvious one here.
Fangio,
Yep. Can you name the other 2?
not a Scooby-Doo.
Carlos Reutemann
Okay.
and Jose Frolin Gonzalez.
Right, okay.
Right. Getting on good here, Charles. I've just had another call coming, so apologies if someone's trying to call me. The United States.
Mario Andretti.
Yep.
I did mention Phil Hill earlier.
You
so
did,
I should
yeah.
probably
You
mention
said
him
he was
again.
British, but fair enough.
Yeah. Now, Wikipedia will include, for about 10 years, the names of the Indy 500 winners, which was at one stage classed as a part of the Formula
Well, I'll
One
tell you what, let's just go with
championship.
Phil Hill
So I
and
wouldn't
Andretti and
know.
forget America.
Yeah.
No, sorry if you're from America, but yeah, I know what you mean. It can be quite confusing. But we're sort of, right, let's have a look. Spain.
Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, and
I want to say Carlos Sainz, but I can't remember if he's won a Grand Prix or not. So instead, I don't know.
no, Fernando Alonso's the only one.
I was going to say, I thought he was the only one, because it's the same when it comes to... Anyway, yeah.
What about the Netherlands?
Oh, that's a difficult one, that one. That can only be Max Verstappen. Unless his dad also did it.
It can only be Max Verstappen. Your answer's spot on. Canada.
So, I can think of 2. Both of them are called Villeneuve. One of them is called Gilles, and the other one is Jacques.
Okay, question for you. Who won more Grand Prix, Jacques or Gilles?
I think Jacques would have won more Grand Prix, but simply because he raced longer before. Obviously, Gilles passed away only after doing 2 seasons or so.
He was at Williams at the peak, wasn't he? With Jacques. So
exactly.
he won 11. Gilles won 6. Okay, starting to get a bit tricky, but there's still an obvious one here. New Zealand.
Okay. Bruce McLaren.
Yep.
And I want to say Chris Amon, but I don't think Chris Amon actually won a Grand Prix because he's the most unlucky driver in history. There is another one though, isn't there?
There is one more, yeah. He won 8 Grand Prix.
Can you give me a hint of an era? What era was he in?
70s, 80s, maybe. Denny Hill, I'll tell you.
Denny Hill, yeah. Well, of course, yeah, because Denny ran in Bruce's Can-Am team.
How are you getting on at home? We want to hear from you. Sweden, here we go, Sweden. Name one Formula 1 driver to win a race from Sweden.
Joe Siffert?
No, you got Joe right.
From Sweden.
There is one driver who won 10 races from Sweden. There's 3 in total who've won races, but the other 2 only won 1 each. Comment below. I'll tell you. Ronnie Peterson won 10 races. Joe Bonnier and Gunnar Nielsen. Belgium. We had this conversation yesterday. You should be able to get this.
That would be Joe Siffert, wouldn't it? Belgium. That would be Joe Siffert, wouldn't it? Belgium.
No.
We had this conversation yesterday, and I'm blanked again.
Out of his misery. It's Jackie Hicks and Thierry
That's
Boxer.
it.
Yeah. Here's one for Leon, South Africa. You'll know this. Yeah. Jody Scheckter.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Switzerland. You've already said his name about 38 million times. Joseph. And one more. Doesn't sound like it's from Switzerland. It sounds like it's from Italiano.
Clay Regazzoni.
Exactly. Right, one from Colombia. Easy.
1 Pablo Montoya.
2 from Mexico.
Perez and a driver from the 60s, Pedro Rodriguez.
Yes, both drivers have won 2 Grand Prix so far. 1 from Monaco, nice and easy.
Ooh, that can only be Charles Leclerc.
Can only be Charles Leclerc. 1 from Poland.
Robert Kubica.
And 1 from Venezuela.
That would be Pastor Maldonado.
It certainly would. There you go. Congratulations to Charles Boniface. He did average. How did he do?
Below average.
Enough fun and games. It's not too long to go now until the first race for the Fiesta Junior Championship. We're going to stay live actually up here on the podium, just like we did for the AirTech Motorsport Fiesta Seniors. We're going to bring you live driver reaction as well. After the race, we're going to break off for a short break, have a bit of lunch. We've got a bit of fun to bring you inside the garages. We're going to have a who can get dressed the quickest competition. Charles Boniface is going to go toe-to-toe with some of the junior drivers. Now, when I say this, it sounds really dodgy, doesn't it? But it's not. They will already be dressed, but it's getting into a race suit fully. Shoes, helmet, gloves, hands device, the lot. How long does it actually take? And I'll see if we can get a judge. We'll get a judge to find out to make sure you're actually in safely and you could race like that. There's no point in just chucking it on, blah, blah, blah. It's got to be safe. It's got to be under race conditions. Now, you've already started to make excuses. So you've got rickety old knees, you've got a bad knee, you've got a bad back.
Well, they've all got at least 10 years on me. So, you know, I've got to play the age card somehow. I may not be out of my prime just yet, but I'm nowhere near the other side of it like they are. So,
yeah, absolutely. That will be a lot of fun. You won't want to miss that. That will be once we've cut off this broadcast and had a bite to eat, because, you know, we're getting hungry, I have to be honest. It's great fun to be here, but my tummy started to rumble. We've got the Fiesta Juniors coming up next. If you want to find out a little bit more about the Fiesta Juniors, there's a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through to the BRSCC website. Make sure you give it a click. And now, to lead into the Fiesta Juniors as well, we've got their promo video from last year's playing. Things have changed a little bit. They've got the new next generation Ford Fiesta as well. But we've got a little video to play for you now, so you can get a real look at what the Fiesta Junior Championship is all about. Roll VT.
fun there. The Fiesta Juniors, they are an awful lot of fun. Deegan Fairclough on pole. Let's just put that qualifying order. We've got a little graphic to show you of how qualifying went yesterday for the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. It is a familiar name at the top, Deegan Fairclough, and he had a lap taken off as well, so we know how quick he is. However, Albert Webster, second place. He's your tip. We heard from Laura as well. He's one to watch. Did a full season last season. Bit unlucky with a few car issues last year. Doesn't look like he's got those issues this year, does it?
No, it looks like the car's going quite well. We obviously spoke to him and we spoke to Ollie yesterday, who's helping him out this year. So, yeah, looks like things could potentially go his way. Like you say, it's very close between him, Fairclough, and a few others right up at the top. Jake Maynard's another one to watch out for. So, yeah, it could be an extremely interesting race ahead.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be. Let's pop that qualifying order down because we are just behind the podium. If you watched our senior coverage, we spoke to some of the drivers in here. I don't know if we should have done or not, but we did it anyway because we can. Now here are the trophies as well for the juniors. As you can see, that's the hat you want, first place. Although it's a pretty good achievement just to be on the podium, isn't it? This is the trophy. Look, here you go. I don't know how well you can see that. The BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship, Brands Hatch, 10th of April 2022. First, that is the one that they'll be going for. Who is going to win the race? Comment below, tell us. Remember, we can see the comments. We want to hear from you. This is your show today, so do tell us. Looks like we've got 2 spare first place hats here.
Should we just, take them?
Unfortunately, if we do that, we're caught on camera doing it. So we can't do that.
To be fair, if it's not earned, it doesn't really feel right, does it?
No. Now, Charles, one thing we've been quite lucky with this weekend so far is there's been a lack of safety cars.
Yes.
The events we've been covering anyway.
Yes.
Now, you've got experience. You've driven the safety car here at Brands Hatch, and it's a bit different, isn't it, to other tracks because it doesn't go out the pit lane. Explain.
No. So, at most circuits, the safety car will sit at the end of the pit lane. And as soon as it's called, we'll pull out onto the main straight and stop waiting for the leader or the pack to come round. Where here, due to how tight everything is with the paddock and everything else, the safety car sits on the inside just after Graham Hill. So as you come out of Graham Hill Bend, you'll then see an escape road up to the paddock. Safety car will just sit in there on the track side of the gate, wait to be deployed on the back straight, and that's where they'll pick up the train.
Is it like driving a safety car? I mean, tell me, because when you watch it in Formula One, all the drivers just sit there moaning that it's too slow. Are you regulated to a certain speed? I assume you are, aren't you?
Yeah. So
it will change per series.
Yeah, it will change per series exactly, but essentially we're sort of given a rough speed. So at the start of the day that I did, I was told around 50 miles an hour as an average speed for the lap is what we're after. You head out, you sort of drive at that sort of point. It's very easy, no different from driving down an A road or well, I would say the motorway, but there's a few more corners. So
the safety car's probably faster.
So things like C2s, for example, I know that their safety car I think is limited to 30 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah, just so they can get the field to bunch up as they need to, because the safety car role isn't just to slow all the cars down and make sure they don't overtake each other. They could do that with yellow flags.
Right.
The role is to back all of the cars up together so that as the train goes round as one, there's a big a big amount of time where there's no cars on track, there's nothing coming past, there's no danger, so the track vehicles, marshals can be on the track and pull fences out, do all of those sorts of things, and making sure that there's no drivers taking any liberties, and there's only a small section of once every 2 minutes or whatever it is the marshals have to worry about cars coming past them.
Okay, excellent stuff indeed. Right, we are behind the scenes here at Brands Hatch. Where we are in the building right now is where everything happens. Now, we'll probably get told off for doing this, but I don't really care. Let's go for a little walk, and just whilst we wait for the catering race to finish, we won't be able to go into race control, but we might be able to poke through and have a little look. If you could, we'll just follow Charles. So here we are. This is the media centre, just to the right is where the clerks of the course sit.
We've got the stewards' room in there.
So let's go around to the left.
We'll head down here.
So we just won't tell anybody we're live. We'll just pretend we're not live.
We'll just pretend we're not live.
Don't give us away if you're watching this, please.
If you look down there, where that green apron is, just the other side is where the safety car will sit, and he'll be just back up behind this fence. and then onto the back straight, and that's where it'll be. As you can see, beautiful day here at Brands Hatch.
Now, if you come to me, we won't be able to go down, but Leon, just down there, if you won't be able to go in, but I don't know if you can just pop the camera up to the window. That is race control. No entry to race control, as you can see. Mere mortals like ourselves, Charles, just simply not allowed in there at all. Probably shouldn't be filming it either.
I've spent a bit of time in race control, but it's spent a bit of time in there, Ian, but it's never normally for a good reason.
Race control, don't you normally end up with a clerk of the course, Charles?
Yeah. Well, I don't normally, no. It's a very rare event. But I have been in there once or twice. Not always for my own driving, but as a sort of representative from a team, or, you know, even for like doing the safety car and things like that when I was doing that.
Yeah, bring it back in. Okay, cool. Right, so there you go. Welcome back, everybody. Just a short break. As we said, it is time for the opening race of the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. I am very much looking forward to this one, I have to say. Thank you for bearing with us as well. There was a red flag in that catering race. We weren't expecting it. It adds an extra 10-15 minutes onto what you're not expected to cover. So we hope you enjoyed our little quiz. Anyway, there's Nick Moore giving us a wave. There you go. That's his weekend's done now, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
AirTech Motorsport Fiesta Senior Championship, and that's the end of his race.
The lovely prepared Misty racing machine and his sponsors all over that, of course, the East Anglia competitions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always good to give drivers and their partners a chance to, you know, be seen on TV and shout out, and that's what helps keeping the sport running and moving for a lot of us, drivers.
Certainly is. Marshall's just making the way out now. They'll line the cars up in the correct grid order for the Fiesta Juniors. There will be a green flag lap like there is pretty much for everybody, really. And then it will be lights out for the race. We're going to stay live for the race. We're going to stay on the podium to speak to the drivers as well. Who is it going to be? It's Deegan Fairclough on pole position. He won a number of times last year as well. But Albert Webster, he is a man who is looking to have a good season, and already started well with that second place, hasn't he? And let's just pop that grid order back up onto the screen for you, just so you can once again see how things panned out yesterday in qualifying for the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. So the grid, Deegan Fairclough on pole, Albert Webster second place. Thomas Jack Lee did incredibly well, didn't he, in third. Sid Smith in fourth. He'll be looking to be a title challenger as well this season. Luke Hilton lines up fifth. Jake Maynard lines up in sixth place. Daniel Lewis in seventh. Lucas Hayden making his debut in eighth. Archie Handy in ninth. Aaron Walker in 10th. Ben Mulryan in 11th. James Pope in 12th. I had another call coming. I just completely lost my train of thought there. There we go. Now let's pop that down because the cars are just coming up
to line up now, as you can see. Deegan Fairclough on pole alongside Albert Webster. Albert just having to move back a little bit, just looks like he went a little bit too far. There's Sid Smith, there's Thomas Jack Lee in the all blue Race Car Consultants. We are broadcasting to the Race Car Consultants Facebook page as well as the Jam Sport page, as well as Deegan Fairclough's page, as well as Albert Webster's page as well, all on Facebook. Don't forget, we're also broadcasting to YouTube at Live Sport Now. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. Make sure you click it, hit subscribe as well to watch behind the scenes live motorsport action in 2022. We get you closer to the action than anybody else can. We've just been doing it. We've just been having a poke around race control. We've been chatting to the drivers behind the podium, not even on it, behind the podium. How cool is that? The cars just getting themselves lined up. The marshals doing a great job as ever. We're also broadcasting to Twitter as well at the BRSCC Twitter feed. So if you're a tweeter, get over there. Make sure you hit retweet as well. Let's get as many people watching this wonderful, wonderful series as possible. We're also on my LinkedIn page, Ian Waterhouse, and can you believe this? Another one as well. We're also on Twitch at Live Sport Now too. We're everywhere, Charles. Everywhere.
Best place to be. Best place to be. Absolutely everywhere.
That it certainly is.
You make a good point there, Ian. Massive shout out to all of the wonderful marshals, not just here at Brands Hatch today, but all over the UK and all over the world, volunteering their time and their weekends so that lucky people like myself can go racing. Huge respect from all of us. Laura's running. We've got Laura running on camera. This is brilliant.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Laura Payne takes the checkered flag. Unbelievable. Oh no, wait. Disqualified. False start. You've got to go back to the top. Start again. Laura Payne jogging down the pit lane. Probably might get a smack round the head when she comes up.
That's all right.
So just to remind everyone, it's going to be a green flag lap first of all. Of course, then they'll line up. Standing start, it will be lights out. And it's going to be an exciting race indeed. Deegan Fairclough bit between his two. He was vying for the championship last season. A bit of controversy actually, because he guested at Croft, won both races, but because he was classed as a guest racer, he couldn't actually score any points. So it meant, unfortunately, he was taken out of the title challenge. We did have a message from somebody before asking if Harry England is racing. Yes, he is racing. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So as I was saying, let me just finish off the grid order. I got cut away there. It was Deegan Fairclough on pole, Albert Webster in second, Thomas Jack Lee in third, Sid Smith in fourth, Luke Hilton in fifth, Jake Maynard in sixth place, Daniel Lewis in seventh, Lucas Hayden in eighth, Archie Handy in ninth, Aaron Walker 10th, Ben Moran in 11th, James Pope in 12th, Lexi Belk in 13th, Harry England 14th, George Foxlow 15th, and Jasmine Shaw in 16th place. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed. In fact, we've already spoken to a number of the drivers. Spoke to Jasmine yesterday, we spoke to Lexi yesterday. We caught up with Archie Hander, we caught up with Daniel Lewis, we caught up with Jake Maynard, we had a chat with him, we spoke to Albert Webster, we spoke to Sid Smith. We're going to try and catch up with many more of the drivers as the day progresses too. So we're going to be coming around, they'll line up, and then we will get this race underway. The opening race of the season for the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. It's very, very exciting indeed. I'm also looking forward to this little feature we've got coming up as well.
If you have any questions or messages that you wish to pass to any of the drivers that you're just about to watch go round, do let us know. As Ian's saying, we will be catching up with a lot of them later on, so we can pick their brains then.
Absolutely, yes. Well said, Charles. We can't see the comments. Do get them in. We want to hear from you.
Oh, Laura's got competition.
Jamie Gowen, he's going to try and take the checkered flag ahead of everybody else, and I think he just about makes it. Congratulations, Jamie Gowen.
I feel like we should have a second sport alongside this main one. Pit lane racing.
This is, yeah, I mean, this could be quite good fun. How long does it take to get from one end to the other? The cars at the back just lining themselves up there. It's a 16 strong grid. It's lovely to see. It's an improved grid from last year, and certainly an improvement. I don't like to often mention it being too negative, but I think it was 2019, he had about 4 or 5 cars on the grid. Look how much it's grown. It really has.
Growth,
it's the place to come to progress your junior career. Red lights are on and off they go. And it's a good start by Deegan Fairclough and Webster as well. Right, you've got 306 Smith. Looks like he's going to make up a place. He's going to slot
nicely into third place. Is he going to have a little sniff down the inside? No, he's not. Sid Smith stays in third place. Can they all get down and around Paddock Hill safely? Did I hear somebody's off in the gravel? Oh no, what a shame this is for Luke Hilton. Just couldn't get the car going. Now he goes. Luke Hilton finally gets going. Did he stall it on the line there, Charles?
I'm not too sure, Ian, but it looks as if he either stalled it or something went wrong. But
somebody's in the gravel because we got waved yellows.
Yeah, the best news there though is that he made it away cleanly. Nobody hit him or collected him as they were going round him. Which is always a big fear if you ever store on the grid, that someone's not going to see you and just go right into the back of you.
Yeah,
so very good driving there from everybody.
I just said somebody was off. I think somebody has touched up the gravel, but nothing major. We are green flag racing, by the way, so here we go. It's Deegan Fairclough who leads. Thomas Jack Lee. Wow. Oh, what's happened to Sid? Oh no, it's Deegan Fairclough. What's happened to Fairclough? That's Sid Smith. That's Sid Smith and Thomas Jack Lee. Now Webster's nowhere. Oh my word. Oh no, there's Deegan Fairclough. He's got a lot of damage on the front and back of his car. And I think we've got somebody into the pits, and I believe it is this Albert Webster into the pits. They were running 1-2. You've got to say there's got to be contact between Fairclough and Webster.
Well, I did see Webster go around the outside at paddock, which is always a risky move, and it looks like they either collected or just a little bit too wide and ended up in the gravel. I hope that car's okay and he can get back out, even if not for this race, for race 2. But he will have a hell of a lot to work to do from the back of the grid.
Oh, he certainly will, and I think Deegan's probably going to have to come in. He's got bits hanging off the car, though, hasn't he?
Well, it depends. If the stewards deem his car to be unsafe, then obviously they will give him the meatball flag or potentially have to black flag him. But
Archie
he will keep going.
Up to third place. Wow. There we go. It is Sid Smith. Thomas Jack Lee, by the way, making his debut here. Wasn't in the series last year. It's great to see him going incredibly well. Archie Handy in third, Dan Lewis in fourth, Maynard in fifth. There's Jamie going. He's actually the boss of Jam Sport, so it might. And I've just heard Jamie going there saying, "Get him in." They're bringing Fairclough in. I can tell you that. They told him to come in. That's Jamie going. He runs Jam Sport. They told him to get Fairclough in. Someone's coming to the pits. Walker.
There's
and
another
Hilton,
one.
and we know Webster. So 3 cars in the pits. That is Hilton down there. That's Luke Hilton going. He's in the pits. I'm not too sure why.
Maybe a flat tyre there,
Looks
Ian,
it,
for him.
Yeah, we can pan on that, but frantic work going on a bit by the Jam Sport crew. Great job there by Jamie and the team. Always is. Sid Smith here out sort of on his own. What's happened? Sid Smith is completely on his own out there now, and we've lost Thomas Jack Lee. No, there's Thomas Jack Lee's in third place now. And that's Jake
And Maynard's made it into second.
What's happened to Archie Handy and Dan Lewis?
We did have.
There's Ben Ryan and James Pope. By the way, Ben Ryan in fourth place on his debut.
We went from having 5 very close cars all at the front for the lead, Ian, to some 3 rather spaced out ones there.
More cars into the pits now. Harry England going very well there too. Ryan with George Foxlow, and there is Dan Lewis into the pits as well. Shaw and Lexi Belt going very well too. Here comes Dan Lewis. He's got damage to the front of that car, significant damage. His windscreen's all cracked, and I think that is going to be Deegan Fairclough that coming down. There's a lot of damage to the front of his car as well. Real shame.
In case you're new to Fiesta racing, this is sprint racing. Pitting during the race is not a normal part. Well, they hope it's not a normal part of their weekend. So
Sid Smith, when he comes down to start finish straight, he's got a huge lead. He's still looking like he's trying to get heat into the tyres. Here's now Thomas Jack Lee. We've lost Jake Maynard. Oh, there's Jake Maynard. He was second a minute ago. Now he's back down to third. There's a huge gap.
I feel like we're looking at the wrong part of the circuit, and I feel like something else rather large has happened somewhere else around the track.
I think you could be right there. So it is just to go through the running order for you. It's Sid Smith, Thomas Jack Lee in second, Jake Maynard in third, Ben Ryan in fourth, James Pope in fifth. Then we've got Hayden in sixth, Foxlow in seventh, England in eighth, Shaw in ninth, Belt Lexi Belk in 10th, Hilton in 11th, Archie Handy. Archie Handy's off the circuit somewhere, I can tell you that. Walker's just coming through in the 2Cs Motorsport, the next generation Fiesta, to get back out onto the track. But it looks like Archie Handy is out of the race, although Archie Handy, believe it or not, actually has the fastest lap of 58.662 so far. There's Albert Webster going
Webster's
back
heading
out
back
as well.
out. There is
So
no
Webster,
rear window in that car.
new window in the car, well spotted. So Webster back out, stone dead last, but that will change. Dan Lewis down there out of his car, walking around it, doesn't look particularly happy.
The windscreen smashed in the front. Well, there doesn't seem to be a straight panel on the front of that car, so whatever happened does seem to be rather sizable. Let's just hope that, well, he's out and walking around, so it seems that he's okay, but let's hope they can get that fixed and out ready for race 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Lewis retires the car, as you can see, Paul. So let's go back onto the track action, shall we? There's still a lot of racing going on. It's still very exciting. Hayden and Pope having a good battle. So the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, that's Ryan Pope and Hayden, is really heating up quite nicely. Lexi Belk is just come into the pits. She's heading straight back out again. So Lexi Belk into the pits. Might just need to check a few tyre pressures. She's straight back out again, which we like to see.
Yeah, you will often find, Ian, especially if they're new to a series or new to racing cars, that every now and again a driver will treat a race weekend like a test. Sometimes it's the best way to measure yourself and measure your car, and you know.
Well, there's another race to come, so if you have come into the pitch, you can get back out. You can almost use it as a test session for race 2, can't you?
Well, exactly, and you do get drop rounds, I believe, in this championship.
You do,
so it's not the end of these guys' year, guys and girls' year, right now. Just if they have one bad race.
Absolutely. So just to run through it with 8 minutes of this race to go, it is Smith, Lee, Maynard, Mulryan, Pope, Hayden, Foxlow, England, Shaw, Hilton, Belk, Walker up to 12th now. Webster's back out on track with stone dead last, but that will change. Andy's out of the race, Lewis is out of the race, and I think Deegan Fairclough, with the damage we've seen to his car, is out of the race as well. So Sid Smith, he's got nearly a 10-second lead, Sid Smith, and he knows what he's doing as well, does Sid Smith. Commentator's curse, here we go. But there he is.
I feel like us picking drivers has been a bit of a commentator's curse so far, Ian.
Smith just lapping Shaw there. And by the way, Sid Smith getting past Shaw. Shaw is in 9th, so he's doing very well. Is Sid Smith, absolutely flying. By the way, Thomas Jack Lee as well in 2nd place. Jake Maynard still going around in 3rd place. Then it's the battle between Mulryan, Pope and Foxlow for 4th place, which is actually the most exciting on-track action at the minute. There goes Maynard. 24.5 seconds behind Smith. In 3rd place is Maynard.
Something big must have happened to have spread the field out this much, Ian, because it's not the gaps that we expect to see from Fiesta Racing, is it?
No, I can tell you something. Leon, I don't know if you can just put. There's a load of people over there. They've got one of the boxes, and I've just noticed. Every time Luke Hilton, I'm assuming that's like the Hilton family, might be the hotel chain, who knows, but every time Luke Hilton's car comes through, the black and fluorescent yellow car, there's a big cheer that goes up every single time. So I think that's the family there. How nice that they've got a box for the weekend to support Luke Hilton out there. It's lovely to see, isn't it? Family support so important, certainly at junior level.
Oh, fantastic, yeah, exactly, and it's always nice to have fans and supporters in the stands.
But just stay there, Liam, because Luke Hilton will be coming around very, very shortly, and we obviously want to see. I can assure you there's not a lot happening out on track right now, so you're not missing anything, don't worry. There's nothing happening in the pits either. Sid Smith is a comfortable leader at 9.8 seconds from Thomas Jack Lee, who's doing fantastically well. He's in 2nd place, Jake Maynard. Now here comes Luke Hilton now. Let's see, there you go, you can probably see him. Let's have a cheer from everyone over there. No, it looks like I just made it up now, doesn't it?
Commentator's cursing it.
Right, let's put the camera back on track actually, because they just haven't delivered over there. I promise you, they've been cheering every time except for the men.
I believe you, Ian. I've been seeing it myself, but sod's law that one, I think.
Completely made that up. Yeah. Harry England going well as well, by the way, running in 6th place. George Foxlow's dropped down to 6th, so there was a bit of track action on that. A few cars over here as well. That's Albert Webster. He's well behind. He's just unlapping himself. Ben Mulryan going very well indeed in 7th place. Got past Foxlow on that last lap. And Thomas Jack Lee going there. Thomas Jack Lee in 2nd, dropped to nearly 12.5 seconds behind Sid Smith. So Sid Smith is looking good for this race win. We've got the black and white flag back out for somebody.
Number 7. That may be the...
Oh, I think it must be 47 then, James Pope, if we don't have a 7. Oh no, it does say 7, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who 7 is, because we don't have a 7 according to TSL Racing. So
Yeah, no, I've not seen a 7 on there, but
I haven't seen
maybe
a 7
they
either.
mean 47 with
Say
his
47.
bumper hanging off a little bit at the rear, but I can't see why that would be much of an issue, to be honest.
Yeah, perhaps they've just done it to trick everyone.
It could.
It's not April Fool's Day today, is it?
No, I think that was last week, Ian.
or was it? Maybe the April Fools is that they've moved the calendar back a week. Or, I don't know. Joel Schmocklo's coming through there. Made his debut last season in the championship. He's back for a full campaign this year, which is what we like to see. Sid Smith going very well. He's got a 13.5 second lead in the lead. Jake Maynard just going through, sorry, that's Shaw just going through our picture there. In 9th place there is Jake Maynard. The two white cars next to each other, though. Jake Maynard will become Walker going really slowing down. Is that to let Hilton through?
Potentially.
Could be, couldn't it? It's a difficult corner to get lapped at, isn't it? It's a paddock hill. You want to get out of the way, but you know they're going to cut you. You can't really be out the way down paddock hill, can you?
No, you can't. It's a very tricky corner to get past someone, but it's extremely rewarding when you make it stick. I can tell you that for sure.
I can certainly imagine so, yes. So we've got just over 3 minutes of this race to go. Seems like a lot of the drama really happened in the first sort of 2 laps, really.
Yeah, and after that, spread the field out probably more than we're ever used to seeing in a junior race, and that's kind of just sort of been holding station for the most part since then. How many laps behind is Webster, Ian?
Albert Webster's now up to 13th. He's on lap 7. Well, he's completed lap 7. Sid Smith is on lap 12, so he's 4 laps behind us, Webster. He could take Walker, though. They're both on the same lap. Lexi Belk, by the way, making a debut, going very, very confidently round as well. She's in 11th place. She's certainly gone forward. I think she'll be happy with that. We've got to do it all again a little bit later this afternoon as well for race 2. Of course, we will get into the garages as well. Now, we do have that special feature coming up. We might have to get some other drivers, though.
We spoke to Lexi yesterday, and I think she said she's come from Rotax, isn't she?
Yeah, the karting route. We spoke to Jasmine Shaw as well. So it's sort of the karting route, really, and they're looking at this as the route into. I mean, what an opportunity to have, isn't it? You know, you often think karting to what, 16, 17, and then you go to single-seaters. But to have this opportunity, you know, if you want to go more of the GT route, you want to, as if Le Mans or something is your target, you've got to be doing this, haven't you, really?
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. You know, if you're racing in Super 1 or something at quite a high level in karting as a junior or moving up to seniors, the money that you're spending, you know, is very comparable to what you would be doing a full season in this or, you know, a similar junior formula, which you can race from 14 now. So
it does. Now, I have to say, checkered flag is out. There's still a minute on the clock. They've called it early. Sid Smith takes the win. Rather surprisingly, they've, well, unsurprisingly actually, they've pulled the checkered flag a little bit earlier. So Sid Smith is your race winner. Thomas Jackley comes, we think he's going to come home in second. There he is in the blue Race Car Consultants. What a great race, and what a result that is for Race Car Consultants as well, by the way. Congratulations to Thomas Jackley. Although Sid Smith, it hasn't registered that he's won, even though he has. We saw him come over the line. Expecting Jake Maynard now to come over and take 3rd place, which he does. James Pope will come home in 4th. Now, I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's James's best finish in the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship, 4th place. Lucas Hayden in 5th. Great result for him. Harry England in 6th. George Focklow in 7th. Hilton in 8th. A great race. They'll be happy over there, if they, of course, I've just completely made it up and they don't actually support Hilton. Jasmine Shaw in 9th place. Lexi Belk in 10th. Ben Moore Ryan, unfortunately, out of the race. He was going well, and he's got that dreaded
yellow warning sign next to his name, which would suggest he's off the track somewhere. But that's probably why they pulled the checkered flag early. Aaron Walker comes home in 12th. Albert Webster in 13th, recovered. He managed to get back out on track, lost 4 or 5 laps in the pits, but got back out, finishes 13th. We lost Archie Handy, we lost Dan Lewis and Deegan Fairclough as well. There you go, that is how it finished. Let's pop TSL up onto the screen so you can see how it finished according to TSL. A lot to digest then, and probably a lot of work for Laura Payne to do, the series coordinator.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of work, and I feel like the stewards may have a fair few onboards to look at after that one, which will keep them nice and busy through lunch, which I'm sure they will be very grateful for. But yeah.
It swings and roundabouts. I've seen some of the best racing I've ever seen with these juniors, and then sometimes it can be hard. You've got to remember their age between 14 and 17. They're incredibly talented, but they're inexperienced. And this is the thing, we often hear it's a bit of a cliche. You can't win it into turn 1, you can only lose it. And although you can give yourself a good chance of winning it if you get it right into turn 1, there's still the whole race to go, but you can definitely end your race doors, can't you?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's very easy to get caught up and literally swept up in the moment, and be like, right, I'm going to try and make as many positions up and go as far forward as possible. And if you get it right, it's wonderful. You disappear off down the road and you have a wonderful weekend. If you get it wrong, it doesn't bode well for the rest of your time in that particular race, at least.
No, it certainly doesn't.
But yeah, sometimes it pays to be patient in motorsport, and that's just the way it goes. I know, obviously, with a bit of a history with endurance racing as well, turn 1 is really not as important as people think it is at times. But like I say, inexperience, and they'll learn from this, they'll grow, and that's the main thing going forward.
We didn't see what happened, actually, for it. We were probably based in the wrong place to actually see what happened. Somebody who might have seen what happened is Jack Oliphant. Jack, sorry to keep bugging you like this, buddy, but where we are on the podium, we didn't actually really see what was going on out there, but for the first couple of laps, it looked, is chaotic a polite word to say?
Learning curve is probably the expression I would say, and it wasn't just the start, but as I said in the commentary box, sort of giving them a half an excuse, I would say, is the fact that for a lot of drivers, this will be their first time racing in the car, and Brands Hatch is a difficult track to come to for any level of racing driver, let alone the start, and obviously a lot of these drivers will have been in go-karting, rear wheel drive, lightweight, nothing at all like a big Fiesta front wheel drive, lots of weight transfer, so I was trying to give them half an excuse. Well, I'm very much those excuses will sort of run out in race number 2, where hopefully a lot of drivers will learn their lessons. Because, as I said, if you spin off, we saw a couple of drivers spin off multiple times. The thing is, if you spin off and your tyres are dirty, then the car is completely different, or whether the tyres are hot or wet, it's completely different.
You've got to scrub the dirt off, you've got to get him back up to temperature. It could take a few laps, can't it, really?
Exactly, and a few of those drivers who had repeated spins will now have learnt that lesson, hopefully, and in the next one, they might spin once, maybe twice, but they won't spin that third or fourth time.
They get faster and faster. Jack, thank you so much. I wonder if Laura is there, is she? She's just eating. Oh, the drivers are coming down now. Sorry, Laura.
Oh, look. I told them to be quick. They're running.
They are literally being super quick. Look at it.
They're going to beat your time, though, Laura. This
Laura,
is what we
they're a
know.
lot quicker than you, I've got to say. I don't know.
Did you actually doing that? I can't believe that.
Yeah, we did.
Were you just being lazy? Great stuff. Look, here they're coming now. Jake Maynard there, Sid Smith Thomas, Jack Lee as well. We'll grab a word of him in here, so we'll leave it open for you, Jack. Let's get them immediately. Let's get their immediate reaction as they come in, shall we?
No excuse that they haven't got their cardio in this weekend.
They've certainly got a cardio in this, and Sid Smith, of course, a driver we know. He's no stranger to the podium, and it looked quite easy for him, didn't it, really?
Maybe we'll do that after lunch.
Yeah, all right, Charles. Maybe we won't. We've got. They are literally on their way now. We're going to grab them first before anybody else. We want to hear from them live, properly, don't we? This is going to be. In fact, what we might do is we might just let them go through actually, because Jack's got to get a move on with it. I'll just take that if that's okay, Charles. Just so we can get the interviews that Jack will do. And I will grab a chat with the drivers afterwards as well, but we're going to wait for them to come through. Here is Jake Maynard. Here is Sid Smith. and Thomas, Jack, Lee, as well. Guys, I think you're straight on, actually. I think you might be straight out. We'll grab a word of you all shortly. Well done, mate.
Wait there.
That might be my fault.
Sorry there, Paul. Sorry. I know I'm interrupting, but I'm just going to read out very quickly the podiums. The drivers actually don't enthusiastic. They tried to jump on before we announced them. But in third place, it was Jake Maynard.
Woohoo! Where's the celebrations for everyone?
In second place was Thomas Jack Lee.
Woohoo!
Small cheer from the crowd gathering around taking pictures. And in first place, a pillar of consistency, I would say, was Jake Maynard.
Sid Smith.
Sid Smith, sorry.
Hey!
Sid Smith, my bad. You did get the biggest cheer at least, even if I did very quickly look at my phone. Big smiles and photos all around, and we're hoping to have a chat to Sid Smith before he jumps off, if that's okay, if we've got time, Paul.
Thank you.
He's just finishing up his paparazzi moments, and Sid Smith, if you come down.
We'll grab the other guys in here.
And Sid, there was an awful lot going on.
We'll just wait for the camera to come. Don't go just yet, boys. We'll just wait for the camera to swing round. Here he comes. Thomas, I guess that was stay out of trouble, and anything can happen, right?
Definitely, yeah. So since the start, we had a little incident, but it was all on the track, so we just had to drive cautious and take it home.
Pretty solid result. You've got to be a happy man, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, you're racing with Race Car Consultants. We are broadcasting to their page. Good team, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, they've built an amazing car today. So yeah.
Got to do it all again, though, mate.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Jake, talk us through that, mate. That's drama. Huh?
first lap, something happened. People were off the track. Oil was on the track. Didn't really know where to go, but got through in one piece, and it was just trying to find out where the oil was, where it wasn't, where you could push. Last few laps probably could have pushed harder, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just chilling around really.
Nice little trophy there, race 2. Good to get these guys, so right?
That's the aim.
Well done, congratulations. Sid, no stranger to the podium, are you? I mean, once you got out, once you've avoided all the trouble, it looks like a fairly routine day out there.
Oh, it was carnage. Cars everywhere. I don't know what I was doing, but luckily I got that lead. I kept it. First win in Fiesta Junior. I'm so happy with that.
What does it mean? How does it feel right now? Describe it to us.
I don't know. I just don't know. I looked in my mirror and then no one was there anymore, and I see everyone on the grass. It was carnage, but I loved it every moment because it's basically wet lines because there's so much oil on the track that you're driving anywhere but the right line. So it's so much fun.
Mate, well done. Look, go get some lunch.
Thank you.
You've got to do it all again later. Right, fantastic stuff. Closes the door. We've got even more caterers going out on track. You are going to hear and see from, Charles, even more of the Fiesta drivers a little bit later. We've also got some action from the Ford Modified Series to bring you as well. We are going to go for a spot of lunch now. When we come back, we've got a very fun feature. Can Charles Boniface beat a load of junior drivers in getting dressed? It's not as dodgy as it sounds, I promise. It is definitely PG rated. In fact, it's not even PG, it's probably U rated, isn't it? Do they still do that? We're going to have a competition. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're still going to be live behind the scenes here at Brands Hatch for the rest of the day as well. Don't go too far. I'm Ian Waterhouse, he's Charles Boniface. Don't forget, Live Sport Now is the place to watch live sport behind the scenes. There's a link in the body of this broadcast to our YouTube channel. Give it a click, hit subscribe. We'll be back after lunch.